Hi students, in this class we are going to discuss what is translation. Translation is an anglicized form of a Latin word. In it, trans means across and latum means to carry. In literal terms, it is an art of carrying across boundaries and barriers without losing the material that is carried over. In literary terms, to translate means to make another language like one's own, to preserve meanings and significances across vocabularies, grammars and syntaxes. In other words, it is an art of carrying across the matters of one source language, that is SL, into a target language, TL. In the past, there were few books on translation. Now it is a different scenario. In the present, there are countless theories and hundreds of books on translation. The theories of translation developed from purely linguistics approach of the 60s. 60s means 1960s. In 1960s, in literary criticism, linguistics approach, which means the language aspects of the text was given more important. To textual focus of 70s. In the 70s, that is in 1970s, text got, that is the matter in the text that got focused in the literary arena, have now yielded place to the culture based theory. So now if you take the text, the culture plays more important, that is SL culture as well as the TL culture that plays more important in translating a text. The terminology debated has added to the complexity involved in the art of translation. So you can understand that translation is not a simple task. So there is many things that are involved in translation. That is why it is discussed under art of translation. Some scholars such as Theodore Saury defines translation as an art. Others such as Eric Jacobson define it as a craft, while others describe it as a science. So, translation is considered as an art, a craft and a science. Host Friends even goes to the extent of saying that translation is neither a creative art nor an imitative art, but stands somewhere in between the two. So, creative art means writing creatively, that is their own writing. Translation is not the writing of the author, that is the translator, but the translator translates the text which was written by someone else, right? So the original text written by someone else is called creative art, and imitative art means just imitating what is there in the original text. The translator, he carries it out, right? So it is called an imitative art. So here Host Friends says that it is in between the two. So it is neither a creative art nor an imitative art, but it is in between the two. So this is what he could say about translation. Translation and translator. The knowledge of the theory of translation will certainly help a practicing translator. So a practicing translator should be very careful about the theory of translation. Yet his grounding in principles and procedures lead him to decide upon or determine or invent his own translation method. And at the same time, the translator can adapt his own method in translating that text. So he has to refer the translation theories side by side. If something is not possible while he is translating, then he can adapt his own method. SL and TL cultures and their cultural demands and pressures, nature of the text, the dominant trends in the field or the other forces that influence a translator's decision. So the translator decides what to be translated, how to be translated, what to be omitted. Like that he decides based on the culture of both SL and TL. SL is source language, TL is the target language, and their cultural demands. Whether the TL audience demands the culture of the SL. So the translator has to decide, and the pressure, the nature of the text. So what is the kind of the text? Whether it is poetry, whether if it is in a form of poetry, whether it can be translated into poetry or it cannot be translated into poetry. So he can adapt the technique of translating the poetry into poetry if possible. If not possible, he can translate the poetry into a kind of prose. So it becomes a paraphrase like. So it depends upon the nature of the text, the dominant trends in the field, and the translator has to decide whether the trend is dominant in the contemporary period. Then he can translate that one. Otherwise, he can leave that area. So all these things he can decide on his own when he is translating a text. Translation in India. In the Indian context, translation assumes added significance in view of the fact that India is a multilingual country. So talking about India, in India we have many languages, we are speaking many languages, so we have many states and all the states have their own language. So India is a country known for its multilingua. So here what happens, if a text is written in Hindi language, or if it is written in Tamil, say for example Tirukkural, that was written in Tamil, but it is available almost in all the languages of the world, which means that it was translated into the other languages. So the other can understand the value of Tirukkural through the translated text. So that is why in India, like that, something, some great epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata that was written in Sanskrit language, then it was translated into Tamil, then only you can understand it. Like that, Rabindranath Tagore's Gitanjali, it was written in Bengali language. So from Bengali it was translated into English, then it was translated into Tamil also. So like that we can understand the density of the or the meaning of the text only with the help of the translated text. So translation plays a vital role in India like country, because in India people speak many different languages. Indian culture is a mosaic of different subcultures in their linguistics plurality, and not only that, not only different languages, but also the culture. Each and every community or each and every state has its own culture. So Indian culture is a mosaic culture. So plurality comprising different lingual regions, their regional literatures and styles. Indian literature has had a rich tradition. Without translation, a large number of masterpieces in each one of the Indian languages will remain locked up treasures to the readers who are not acquainted with the languages in which they are written. Say for example, the very valuable text like Ramayana and Mahabharata, even Vedas, Upanishads and other texts like Gitanjali or Tirukkural. Like that, many texts are known to almost all the readers of India only through the translation. So otherwise, if translation is not there, just imagine that translation process is not there, what happens? The text will be there remaining with the particular audience or particular readers. Even national integration will remain a dream if the best of the country is not circulated through translation. And so we say that India is a country which has different languages, different culture, different tradition, different food, different climatic condition, like that. So we say that India is a country known for its unique in diversity, right? So here this unity is brought only through translation. Even the leaders who were fighting for the freedom of India, they spoke Hindi language. When they visited Tamil Nadu, what happened? In Tamil Nadu, the leaders, all the speeches were translated into Tamil by the experts. So we can understand what the leaders are saying. So like that, translation plays vital role in India. It is only due to translation that thinkers like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, so these great thinkers, they belong to Greece, the country called Greece, and they wrote in Greek language, and all their important teachings and ideals were translated into many languages of the world, and not only Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Vyasa, Tolstoy, Chekhov, Ibsen, and so many other famous writers and thinkers have come to limelight and enlightened the people of the world with their ideals, and it is all only due to translation. Only with the help of translated text we can understand the ideals of great people like these people. Importance of translation. So now we can understand from the previous introduction, we can understand that how much translation is important, and it is only because of translation the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, Thirukkural, Gitanjali are available to the people of all over the world. All these texts are available in their own language. If it is the people of say for example Japan, so it is available in Japanese language. If it is the people of China, then it is available in Chinese language, like that. Thirukkural is available in Chinese language, Japanese language, in English, in Greek language, like that. It is all available to the people of the world in their own language, and it is only because of translation. Reading the translated text, one can understand that there are so many good and best works written in other languages besides his mother tongue. So besides his mother tongue, he can understand that okay, other texts are available in other languages also, like that. The readers can understand the value of the text written in other languages also. Above all, to catch up with the developed nations, to become modern and to be ready and to be updated, we need translations of the latest books on science. So many science texts, those are the scientists invented in their own country, and those are translated into the common language or in their mother tongue. And technology, trade, business management, and so many other valuable important works are translated, and it is all made available to the people of the world. Moreover, translation is not in the modern context a secondary to the original literature. So we should not say that the original literature, the creative writing, what the author wrote, that has much value, and the translated text that does not have any value. Like that we should not say, because it is a very tedious and tough job for the translator to translate a text from one language into another language. So he has to consider the linguistics aspects, the cultural aspects, the common trend, and so many other things he has to consider. So translated text also carries very vital or important aspects in the public. Say for example, the movie Chandramukhi, it was originally shot in Malayalam, and then it was remade. Actually, it was remade into Tamil, and it was acted by Rajinikanth. And there, the plot is same, the story is same, but so many things are added by the director. Say for example, Vadivelu comedy. So many different items, especially Vadivelu comedy, was added to give interest to the Tamil audience. It has an important existence of its own. So we could understand that the translated text has its own place. It is not reproduction alone, but a recreation. So it is not just reproducing. Recreation means something is added. Something which is not needed is deleted from the original text. So like that, we should not say that it is just a reproduction, but it is a recreation. So something is once again created, like Chandramukhi or like Kamba Ramayanam, because the original Ramayanam was written in Sanskrit language by Valmiki, and it was translated into Tamil by Kambar. So while Kambar was writing Kamba Ramayanam in Tamil, he had so many things in mind, especially the cultural aspects of Tamil readers. So he introduced so many new items, and he has deleted the unwanted thing from the original Ramayana. And it was so feasible for us that Kamba Ramayanam, that seems that as if it is originally written by Kambar, but it is not originally written by Kambar, it is reproduced by Kambar. So here we can say that Kambar has not reproduced, but he has recreated Ramayana. This is possible due to the development in the fields of linguistics and literary criticism. Hence, it could be stated that translation has now become new literature, or it is called literature 3. And there are so many translation theorists and they have given many theories on translation. Some important definitions on translation that I have given for you to follow. Translation, according to Susan Bassnett, involves the rendering of a source language text, that is the SLT, into the target language text, that is TLT, so as to ensure the surface meaning of the two will be approximately similar. Surface meanings means the general concept or general plot, general story must be the same, or general theme must be the same, and the structures of the SL will be preserved so as closely as possible. So the structure of the SL means the SL structure, the source language structure is preserved, and at the same time not so closely, because if it is so closely preserved, what happens? The TL structure will be seriously distorted, seriously affected. So the translator has to concentrate on the structural aspects, which means that the grammatical part of the syntactical part of the languages, both the languages SL and TL. And Eugene Nida, very important theorist, he says, what is translation? He says that translation is a process by means of which a person who knows both the source language and the receptor language. So the translator must know both the languages, SL, and here he has used, instead of TL, here he has used receptor, RL, receptor language, decodes the message of the SL and encodes it in the most appropriate form in the RL. So he decodes the message means he interprets the message and then he recreates the message into RL. RL means receptor language. Why he calls, instead of target language, he calls it as receptor language, means nowadays the readers are, that is the receiving part, the readers are given more importance, and that is why instead of saying target language, he says that receptor. Receptor means the receivers, the receptor language. So he says that translation is a process by means of which a person who knows both the source language and the receptor language, he decodes the message of the SL and encodes it in the most appropriate form in the RL. Then yet another translation theorist, Peter Newmark, he says that translation is a craft and it is not an art. Why he doesn't call it as an art? Because art means originally it is done by a painter is painting a picture, means originally he paints it. Craft means something, some material is already available. From that material something is created, and that is why it is called craft. So translation means already the original text is there, and from that text it is translated into target language. That is why he calls it as a craft. Translation is a craft consisting in the attempt to replace a written message or statement in one language by the same message or statement in another language. So the message must be kept intact, that is the meaning or the theme of the text must be kept intact. So the SL text and the TL text, they should carry the same meaning. Thank you.